So just a quick update on FITFI. What we talked about in yesterday's video is now panning out. You can see yesterday we were talking about this head and shoulder breakdown. We have a price target coming all the way down, basically at 6.8 cent. We titled the video, the head and shoulder was calling it to come down to 7 cent. You can see from this wick up here, extrapolate the price target down. From the breakdown, I have to move it up a tiny bit actually. But this is basically what I see planning out. Now, yesterday we talked about this. We said, at least in my opinion, I think we are going to break down. I think we're going down approximately 43%, and we've already started to move. So, we're down about 11% or so. Obviously, that's not too much of the move so far. I wasn't saying this is going to play out in the next day, the next couple of days. I really think this is something that's going to play out in the next week or two. But still, another 35% drop is what I see going on for FITFI. Let's update the technicals now. Bear in mind, I can't say too much about this on the 4-hourly candle because this 4-hourly candle has literally been open for an hour or so. So I'm not going to talk about the volume, I'm not going to be talking about this bounce because it is very small and mundane, and like I said, there's not a lot to talk about until it closes. However, the last 4-hourly candle is where we saw most of the capitulation. You can see about 6% of that 10, 11, 12% drop, whatever it was, happened in the past 4 hours, and we're really starting to pick up momentum to the downside now. And we talked about this, and we said, this is going to trickle over into the 4-hour. The squeeze one, which is our momentum indicator of choice, is already trickling over to light red. If we come over to the daily, you can see we're actually moving over into a dark red phase, which is indicative that either bears are taking a break from the trend or they're running out of momentum. Now, as we are seeing bearish momentum trickle back into the lower time frames, I do think it is going to be very, very likely that we do break down. Bear in mind, you zoom out on the daily, and we're really capitulating below everything. I mean, the mint price was down here at, a fraction of a penny, 0.002. I'm not necessarily saying we're going to go that far. I don't think we're going to go that far anyway. But it is just interesting to note that this pattern does look like it really, really wants to break down. Now, one other thing as well, we talked about this before, but we flipped bearish on FITFI at 53 cent. We were riding this all the way up on the 4-hourly EMA ribbons. As soon as we flipped bearish at 53, 54 cent, we got out, and you can see literally the 13 EMA got crossed bearish at around about 50 cent, and then the 4-hourly EMAs crossed bearish at about 53 cent, and ever since then, the trend has been your friend. So a lot of people are asking me, what is the price to DCA FITFI? What time am I going to be buying the dip on these cryptocurrencies? And the answer to that is when the trend reverses. I do not know when the trend is going to reverse. I do not have a crystal ball, and as such, I would not be having DCA targets at this moment in time. Like, hypothetically, we come down to 7 cent, which is my price target. I would not be interested in DCAing until I see the Bitcoin dominance start to come down. This is the last thing I want to wrap up this video on. While Bitcoin is trending sideways but macro down, the Bitcoin dominance is moving up. While the Bitcoin dominance is moving up, Bitcoin is going to outperform altcoins, and altcoins are going to get wrecked. I've been saying this religiously for the past month, and people are still asking me, when is the time to DCA? But look at this chart. If I said sometime round about here that down here was the time to DCA, then people might be getting wrecked if it moves lower. So, like I say, my trading plan is to get in and out of trend reverse, in and out of trend shifts. So for example, we got in FITFI down here when there was a lot of hype. We rode this all the way up, and as soon as the 4-hourly flipped bearish, that is when we exited. And on the flip side as well, like I said, people are asking me when I plan on DCAing. I plan on DCAing once we break bullish above these moving averages and the EMA ribbons, which in themselves are moving averages anyway. So once we get above these EMA ribbons, once we start putting in some bullish market structure, once we put in a bottoming structure, that is when I'll look at putting my money into FITFI. Until then, and while the Bitcoin dominance is moving up, there is absolutely no target that I would be giving for DCA. I think it's absolutely, I don't want to, call anyone stupid or anything, but in my opinion, it would be very, very foolish and stupid to DCA into altcoins while we're looking at the Bitcoin dominance moving up. While the Bitcoin dominance is moving up, it simply means Bitcoin's outperforming altcoins. So why would you go against that trend is what I want to kind of get into this. So their social media is still looking good. They've still got very, very decent levels of engagement. So like I've been saying, either FITFI or GMT, one of these projects, in my opinion, is going to make it out of this bearish spout, but we will just have to see and wait and see what happens. But yeah, like I said, 7 cent, this is where I think we're coming down to. From where we are now, we've got about another 36% drop. That's all I've got. And once again, keep an eye on the Bitcoin dominance. If this keeps on going up, you're going to keep on seeing these altcoins get wrecked day after day after day. I keep on saying this, and every time I say it, it's like every couple of days, the altcoins move lower. People ask, is now the time to DCA? But like I say, Bitcoin dominance goes up, it is the time to be a Bitcoin maxi in the short term. Because I'm expecting the Bitcoin dominance to go all the way up to 60%. That is going to slaughter altcoins. So, like I'm saying, I know I'm putting probably too much emphasis on this, but it's not the time to be buying altcoins, in my opinion. So, best of luck. I think FITFI is coming all the way down to 7 cent. We were predicting a 43% drop. Now it's only about 36%. So all I've got for you today. Best of luck. As always, not financial advice. Cowboy out. Peace.